Uh, hey, easy there. Is is that any way to treat an injured patient? It's okay. I don't. It's not your fault. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. Can't you tell? Or do you think you're still dreaming? Well, if it really were a dream, then then I guess I really landed myself in hell this time. Yeah, I did always have a morbid sense of humor. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Hey, hey now. How many times do I have to tell you? You're ugly when you cry, you know that? Now that got your attention, didn't it? Alright, no more jokes for now. How? Sorry, I don't remember much. What what exactly happened to me? Hmm. I see. Well, guess neither of us expected that, did we? I, for one, didn't think you were the reckless type. What what were you thinking when you rushed at that boy? If I wasn't there, if things went south, the car could have. Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. It's just a small ache. Hey, hey, I said it's fine. Who are you, anyways? My mom? Yeah, yeah, whatever you say. You didn't have to be a hero, you know? What you did was heroic and commendable, but it would have been meaningless if you had died. Do you do you know how many people would grieve your death? Really? You don't? What am I talking about? Oh, please. Don't pretend like you don't know. You, the model student, the teacher's pet, the school's charmer, the golden child. Need I continue? Yeah, I didn't think so either. Your death would have hurt countless others, and we both know this. Oh, you don't have to console me. I'm not in that bad of a shape to need pity. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But seriously, you have to be playing dumb at this point, right? Just just look around you. Who else do you see? Exactly. Only the doctors and nurses. Nobody else. Do you still not get it? At this rate, I think you're pulling my leg. Alright, I'll explain. Do you know what the people around us call the two of us? They call us Michael and Lucifer, the shining star and the black hole, the angel and the devil, the one destined for greatness, and the parasite that leeches off them. Oh, don't give me that look. I know you know. I know that you know this as well as I do. In fact, that's the reason people have stopped recently. It's because of you, isn't it? I guess neither of us are as blissfully unaware as the other would wish. That's good. Is there something on my mind? Well, I guess you could say that. Hey, wanna listen to a story? It'd be just like the good old times, where I would tell you a story as we hung out at that overhead bridge, looking down at all the cars driving by. Those were the times. I knew I could count on you to be a listening partner. Where should I begin then? Once, there was a young boy. He was badass, smart, and he had dashing good looks. Just like me. Okay, I'll stop. At the same time, however, he was reckless. He was a fool. He mistook what he thought was natural talent, or simply wits and a great deal of luck. It gave him a big head and a big ego. Everything went well. Well, until one day it didn't. The spider's thread that held everything together simply just snapped. And it all came crashing down to earth. Everything he worked for vanished in an instant. The ones he passed by now decided to turn around and laugh at him, to mock him for his fall from the top back down to rock bottom. He held his tears, he held his tongue, and then he glared at them. He bared his fangs at them, as though daring them to utter another word of mockery. How lame! One of them decided to continue, challenging his will. He could do nothing but stare with those hatred-filled eyes. The rest gathered their wits and simply laughed before they left. He was forced to watch their ascent. He was forced to watch the ones he so easily passed by climb higher and higher, while he was forced to crawl upon the dirt. So, why bother, the boy thought. And as soon as that thought entered his head, everything became clear as day to him. Why should he keep crawling to keep up with those who are walking? At this rate, he'll never make it back. So, if he couldn't walk on his 2 feet anymore, then perhaps he would learn to use his hands. Of course, it wasn't easy. It took a great deal of time. After all, no one would ever think that they would be forced to walk on their hands one day. But he kept trying and trying, and failing and failing. Yet each and every day he continued, and step by step he got closer and closer to success. And then he succeeded. He could walk again. He could run again. He could catch up to those far ahead of him again. And when he finally caught up, do you know what awaited him again? The people who once praised him so heavily, the people who once admired him so devotedly, do you know what they said? They said, "What a weirdo." But isn't that the natural conclusion? People walk on their feet, after all. So what else would you call someone who walks on their hands? This only showed him how in vain his efforts were, how futile his struggles were, and the only thing left was the looming despair that welcomed him with open arms. Yet, a voice came from the distance. "That's so cool." The boy turned to face the voice, only to be blocked by the ones in front of him. He could see them, some falling to their knees, others clasping their hands together, uttering prayers and praise. It was obvious they admired and adored the being that was coming towards him. Anyone who saw their face would be struck with awe. However, the boy alone was confused. Standing on his hands, the only thing he could see was their feet, covered in bruises, blisters, cuts, and scratches, hastily bandaged up, as though they didn't have time for the wounds to heal. He couldn't see the face of achievement, nor the glory of success. All he could see were the hardships, the obstacles, and the struggles they had to face, all that they had to endure to achieve this result. "Wanna be friends?" The boy was shocked, as were everyone else, by the sudden offer. How is this possible? The best of the best, uttering such words to the lowest of the low. "But why?" the boy asked. Naturally, he was wary and confused by this offer. It had to come with a trick, right? Because I think you're cool." Huh? What's the moral of the story? Well, Well, it doesn't really need a meaning now, does it? It doesn't need a moral to be a story after all. I just like telling stories. I've been like this all the time, haven't I? Yeah, it's fine. It's just a bit of chest pain, is all. What do you mean it's not fine? You know me. I'll be back on my feet in no time. Just you watch. Me? Putting up a front? Hey, it sounds like you don't believe me. So, you saw it. Your expression never fails to give away what you know. So what? It's a small price to pay. My friend, that's how the world works. To save a life, you have to give up a life. Because the only constants are death and taxes. So if one death is averted, another one has to take its place. Hey now, is the crybaby really back? Don't be sad. There's really no reason to be. Stop lying to myself. Maybe I am lying to myself. Is that really a bad thing? My best friend is here for me in my last moments. I know that no one will offer to save my life. I've been alone this entire time, and you don't have the money yourself to pay for the bills. Not that it will have helped in my current situation. Besides, you're going to university, aren't you? You have a bright future ahead of you, don't you? I know you'll do just fine without me. Look at me. Look. Do I look like I'm sad? Do I look resigned to you? No. Exactly. So please, for me, don't cry. You're ugly when you cry. It gets you every time, but you've never let me finish the sentence now. You're ugly when you cry, so won't you smile for me? I'm not asking for much. Just, I want to see you smile one more time for me. That's all I ask. Please. Can you do it? Can you do that for your best friend? I knew I could count on you. Now in his last moments, the boy finally saw what everyone else had at the start. That radiant smile that could melt and soften any stone cold heart. The one person who was ever truly kind to him. His only friend.